Hey, Miss Lawley. So tell me, how do you think that lesson went?
I think, in terms of Standard 8, I think that the children were thinking at a higher level. I was asking them, why, like, why do they feel that way, or why did they give the answer to that question, like, kind of where they got that information from, more of like a deeper level, not just from the book.
So why do you think it's important for kids to be able to answer those questions that make them really like think about what you're asking them to do?
Well, I think when a child can take what they already know and what they read, and then some outside information, either that they have received from somebody else, um, or learned or whatever, and put it all together, then it kind of forms that deeper level of thinking, um, and allows them to, I guess, just think, at a deeper level.
Tell me more like so, and I agree with you. So when we get the kids to be able to ask themselves those questions, how can they apply what they think in other situations? Like, what would that help them be able to do?
I think it would allow them to kind of take what they're learning and then take what somebody is saying and apply their own information to it. So that it can allow them to like evaluate everything that's going on around them, and to tell others how what they agree or disagree with that.
And that is such a higher level thinking skill when a kid can take another person's opinion, an author's opinion, information from the author, and their opinion about that information, form their own, and then take that information, form their own opinion. They're kind of synthesizing from different areas. So maybe they're going to read about rattlesnakes, and then they're going to read about a person who raises rattlesnakes, and then maybe they can take that information and form an opinion about what they think about a rattlesnake and people who do that based on what they already have learned. So that is like a deeper level of learning. What did you notice when because you did a lot of the questions when you were asking the question, you let the kids. Why did you have the kids talk to each other? Like, tell me, what did you notice about that? What was your strategy?
Well, I felt like when they were talking more to each other, they were using, first of all, their level of thinking, so more at a second grade level, on how they answer questions, and really being able to listen to their peers say what they liked or disliked or what they thought. So it was allowing them to more engage with each other, um, and me just kind of act as a facilitator.
Yeah, that's when I noticed it really pulled you out of doing all the direct instruction. You got to do some of the direct instruction, then you posed the questions, let the kids talk to each other, and you were more of a facilitation where you got to go around and listen to their conversation. So when you get to do that, how does that help you? Or what do you think is the benefit of being able to do that, if there is one?
Well, I think the main benefit is it forces all students to participate. So I'm not just having the ones that the few that want to answer the question every single time, but it allows me to go help those children that are struggling a bit, and it allows me to help those students that are struggling a bit, and then check for understanding for students that to make sure they are understanding the concept and the strategy.
What is the benefit of having kids talk to each other?
Well, I think it forces them all to answer, them all to participate, and get involved with the lesson. But then I think the big thing also that it helps is those kids that don't know the answer, they can use their partner for help. So their partner might answer it, and then it forces them to say it back. So it's helping those lower kids um, work with the higher kids that know the answer to. So they're basically teaching each other.
And they're able to access that curriculum, get access to something maybe they didn't really understand or know, and hearing it again from their partner really helps them access that curriculum that maybe they weren't able to do just from the direct teaching, the direct instruction. That it's just been proven that the more time we give kids that opportunity for discussion, it helps them kind of get that learning, that self-assessment. Do I know what's going on? Do I understand the topic? And if I don't, I'm really going to listen to this person and see what they have to say. And they can extend their thinking from that thought sometimes, or go on to it. Tell me more about, so they really had to form an opinion. So what did you tell me more about that?
So I first, you said what an opinion is. It's kind of what you think, and everybody's opinion is different. Like your opinion, is different from your opinion. I'm pointing to students, and so kind of just told them the definition and what it actually was. And then I kept stressing, what is your opinion? There's not a right or wrong answer. It's just what you think. Also, I opened up the lesson talking about, what's your favorite thing to do? I asked, what if your parents, want to go on a vacation and they want to go somewhere like Mount Everest, but you really want to go to the beach and that's your opinion, that's what you like. I said, if you don't speak up, are you going to be able to, get to go where you want? So kind of that's how I opened it up and stressed like the importance of why it's important to have an opinion and speak like what you think.
And I think you're so right that's asking students to think on their own. That's really what an opinion, we give them so much information. We tell them this is what an opinion is. This is what a reptile is. We tell them so much that sometimes that step of, think for myself. And I think a lot of them struggled to have an opinion. They didn't want to be wrong. They thought, and I think that is a very strong lesson that they need to know it's that forming an opinion. But you form an opinion based on what you know about the topic, what you feel about things. So they have to be able to get all that information to form an opinion. And I think you're right. They struggle with that because you're asking them to come up with their own thought that I didn't give them. So I saw your role change often from that coach, from a direct instruction to just being able to facilitate a conversation with some of them. Because some of them need a little bit of coaching, a little bit of prompting of how to make an opinion, how to form it without you saying, your opinion is, because that's what they want. They want you sometimes just to tell them the answer. And that can be the harder part, is letting them kind of have that productive struggle of, I don't know what my opinion is. I don't know what that's going to be. Well, tell me more. How do you feel about it? Why? And you were asking those probing questions when they were struggling. And that's that coaching, that you got to go into that coaching part instead of just that direct instruction.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of an extension to what I'm going to do today for writing, just journal writing. So since we went to the zoo yesterday, my opinion of the zoo was, and kind of give that sentence starter, but then they can just write everything that they thought about the zoo.
And so my little suggestion for that, if you're having them form that opinion, opinions have to be supported by a detail. So they said the zoo was a lot of fun. Why?
Okay.
And it's back to that why. Mm-hmm. Like, my opinion is rap music is the best music. Why? And that why is the big learning of the opinion. The zoo is the best place to go. The zoo is the best place to go because I get to see animals. I got to walk around. I got to be outdoors, whatever. So really make sure the opinion's kind of the easy part sometimes. It's supporting that thought with some facts or with some evidence of why you feel that way. And that goes right into the spectrum of citing evidence, supporting your claim, believing, as they move on to third, fourth grade, they're going to have to do that where they can state what they think, but they have to then go back to the reading and prove that's why they think that way or reasons why they feel that way. So I think that's a really good start for them. But just try to really push the point that you want it supported. And you might want to model that a little bit for them. Like, whatever your opinion, I would probably make it not about the zoo, only because they'll probably want to copy your opinion a little bit.
Okay.
So you could say, I think the beach is the best place to go for a vacation. I think it's the best place to go because I love the water and I love the sun. So all those reasons, and you might just so they can you want to model that for them a little bit. And I think that would be successful. I can't wait to read them.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.